Round 6 of the NFL draft has come and gone for the Titans. Still no receiver. They've got one pick left to get it done. Before we start talking about receivers again, or lack thereof, the Titans did go out and help out the O-line with Jaelyn Duncan, who, kind of a big name, or a bigger name in this draft, was talked about, at least here in the Chat Sports office, as being probably one of the top 10 offensive tackles in this draft class. Slipped all the way down to the 6th round, and the Titans grabbed him. I am not opposed to this move because, again, that O-line was in shambles, and Ran Carthon is putting in the work to make sure that it's not in shambles this upcoming season. His scouting report: he's a 4-year starter from Maryland with over 2,600 career snaps. He's really fluid, good mover, good athlete, potential to be a starting left tackle. Hello, that fits the bill for what the Tennessee Titans are looking for, right? But there are a few concerns. He's still a mess technically, which is concerning given all the experience. Now, I'm going to break down a little bit more about the scouting report. This is Tom Downey, one of our lead analysts here at Chat Sports. He's great. He's got great analysis, but he does bring up a point. There are some high points to Jaelyn Duncan, but he's got a lot of, I don't want to say red flags, but low-key red flags. He didn't actually start playing football until he was 14, so maybe that's why he has struggled with some technical issues. Most of his issues are in his hands. If you can fix that, I think he's a starter for the Titans, especially considering the current state that the O-line is in. They did do some work to it, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But look, 4-year starter, 2,600 snaps. Like we said, a really fluid mover and athlete. He's got fantastic balance when the mechanics are good. There's a lot of upside here, but it's just a matter of getting there because he struggles with technique. Some silly things. Not to mention, he had 31 penalties in 4 years. That tells you right there just the lack of technique. He tries to get it done, just messy. It's messy. Can that be fine-tuned in the NFL? Probably. Again, lots of upswing, lots of potential here. If you can clean it up, get the technique right, sharpen him, could be a starting left tackle, could be very beneficial for the offensive line in Tennessee. Speaking of his pro day, didn't have his best showing, which is another concern. His weight jumped to, and I'm reading the notes right here, his weight jumped to 322 at pro day, and he struggled with testing. His agility was bad. Obviously, he didn't even have the agility testing. He didn't bench. His sprints, the 40 was a 5.1, 20, 10. You really just look at that 40 time. I know that's what most people are concerned about. 5.1, 31.5 vertical, 9.5 broad. Testing numbers, you can kill the combine and still do terribly in the NFL. So I don't take these numbers to heart too much unless you're a receiver and your 40 is like really fast. And we'll talk about receivers in a moment, but I think he'll fit really nicely with this offensive line if he can bring his work ethic, if he can show up and be ready to fine-tune things. Remember, Andre Dillard, Daniel Brunskill. Wow, I'm like looking at this for the first time in a minute. It's been a minute. It's been a long weekend, right? It looks very different from what it will look like in 2023. Andre Dillard, Daniel Brunskill, new additions during the offseason and free agency. Aaron Brewer sticking around in that center position could change up. Dylan Radins coming off that ACL injury, trying to get back right. And Nicholas Petit-Frere. Things could absolutely switch up. You grabbed Peter Skoronski. You now have Jaelyn Duncan. This depth chart, this O-line is going to be a complete revamp from last season, which I don't know about y'all, but I'm praising that. That is a very good thing. And I think we knew going into not just the draft, but into the entire offseason, something had to be done. That O-line was not getting it done. Ryan Tannehill was running for his life. That offense couldn't get into a rhythm. Derrick Henry even struggled a little bit. He was had the second most rushing yards in the league, but that's because he's the king. Imagine with an offensive line that could actually create lanes and block for him. Crazy, right? Well, we might be getting there. We're inching towards it. Ran Carthon made it a priority that this O-line was going to be in better shape this season, and it will be. I can tell you, through free agency, through this draft, they did make some good moves. I'm going to give this pick, I'll go with a B. I think this is a depth move. It just, again, completely different O-line. You needed it to happen, to be honest. Let me know what you think. Head down to the comment section. Grade the pick. Jaelyn Duncan is a Titan offensive tackle from Maryland. I am going to start to switch over to my, I guess I do it every video now, the rant about the wide receiver position. There's one pick left. I said this at the beginning of the video. They have 1 7th-round pick to fix possibly the worst receiving room in the NFL. Now, before y'all come at me, because y'all been doing it, yes, Treylon Burks is probably great. The thing is, you can't rely on that because you didn't see it in year 1 because of the injuries. So let me ask you, if Treylon Burks gets injured again and Kyle Phillips is injured again, who is getting it done? Tell me. Okay, Tyjae Spears can catch. Great, he's still a running back. You just grab Josh Whyle. He can catch. He's still a tight end. Chig is going to play. Yes, you need a receiver. I'm done arguing about it. It's very evident. It needs to happen. I'm not quite sure why it hasn't happened yet. I don't know why we waited until 1 pick left in the 7th round of the draft. Now, this is what I'm hoping for. Clearly, A.T. Perry is still on the board. Okay? He has been linked to the Titans a couple times during the offseason. I don't really know how he's still on the board. You can see the rankings here. He is the number 10th according to our chat sports analyst here. The 10th best receiver in this class, okay? If we land him in the 7th round, that is a blessing from God. Everybody better be in church on Sunday. That's all I got to say. It would be nice for it to happen, but at this point, I'm not getting my hopes up. I don't know what they're planning on doing. I don't know if they've already talked to every other team in the NFL and said, don't y'all take A.T. Perry. He's going to be a Titan. Maybe they've worked it out. Maybe that's their goal here. Maybe they're just banking on Treylon Burks. Maybe they're trying to gear up for a trade. I'm not quite sure. We'll continue on this wide receiver rant that I just can't get out of my system. It's like every video I have to let y'all know how I feel, which is exactly why you should subscribe. I'm not going to BS you. I'm not going to blow smoke. I'm going to let you know how I feel, but I'm going to keep you informed at the same time. I'm sure it's very entertaining to hear me get loud on the mic. If you have AirPods in, I'm very sorry. Or get really red and frustrated. It's entertaining at least. So if you don't care about anything about the Titans, but you like watching me get riled up, there you go. There's a place for you here as well. Hit the sub button. Let's grow the channel. I know somebody asked me if I could go live. The thing is, I can't go live because the channel is not big enough. The other guys have the studios. They are live right now because their channels are big. They have more subscribers. If we can grow the channel, there may be live shows in the future. So hit that sub button. We'll keep you updated on that 7th round pick, as well as undrafted free agent signings that happen tomorrow and the rest of the offseason. Make sure you hit that sub button. Jaelyn Duncan is a Titan. The O-line is in much better shape than it was coming into the draft. Again, Peter Skoronski, Jaelyn Duncan. I still would like to see a receiver grabbed in the 7th round. If it's A.T. Perry, I will eat some of my words and take it back, the anger that I have right now. But let me know who you want. Clearly, I want A.T. Perry or a receiver that can help elevate this wide receiver room. If you disagree and you think maybe another position is of need, let me know down in the comment section. Drop some names down there. Give me some reasons why. We will have you updated when the Titans make that 7th round pick. We'll have a video out as well as draft grades. Make sure you subscribe. As always, we appreciate y'all for watching. We will see y'all soon. Tighten up.